What's good, everybody? Good morning. Um, so I was watching the game. I said, "F it." You know, I obviously went to the bar because obviously they wasn't really showing. I mean, they were showing the game, but it was on a Spanish channel. Weird, right? Like you would think that you would get it local, like CBS, ABC. It wasn't that. It wasn't on any of those channels. So I said, "F it." I just went to the bar um, and just ordered me some like hot wings and burgers and just sat down and and enjoyed myself. Um, but I did say that before the season started, I said that the Lions would win this game. Now, obviously, everybody picked the Kansas City Chiefs because the Kansas City Chiefs had all this, you know, had all this leverage, against them. You know, they were undefeated. You know what I'm saying? This and that and the third. It was a sloppy game. I got bored and, I just, you know, I was on my phone half of the time. But actually, I couldn't because obviously, I was betting, not really betting somebody, but I was on Super Draft. For the ones who don't know what Super Draft is, it's kind of like a bootleg version of FanDuel and DraftKings. It's right here. If you can see that, where it says Super Draft, where it says the SD. Yeah. So my dumbass picked the damn. I mean, I was good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I was probably like in fourth place, but Sky Moore didn't do anything. I picked Sky Moore. I should have picked two running backs. I should have picked Montgomery and Gibbs. I picked the Gibbs, but I didn't pick Montgomery. And obviously it cost me. It was only like $5. Um, but there's something called this is Super Draft right here. Let me see if I can. It's already on there. Hold on, let me. This is Super Draft. Like I said, it's kind of like a bootleg version of FanDuel and DraftKings. This is me, Ace Ace Nix 999. The 999 is obviously RJ Barrett number. Um, so yeah. Um, and if I go to my history, yeah, look, I finished in sixth place, but I didn't win anything. Why? Because obviously I picked Goff, Gibbs, St. Brown, Mahomes, and Moore. Moore didn't really do anything. Um, so I finished with 74.90. No, I finished with 74.90 points, which is not really that bad. I finished sixth out of 10th place because there was like 10 people that entered, so I didn't win anything. Before I won like $4.50, but obviously, I didn't really win anything. Ice had won $15 straight, as you can see from the top. The blue icon is me. The blue highlight icon is me. So I finished in sixth place. Not bad, but I didn't win anything. Um, but I got a lot of, see, I got college football too. I got Sanders and no, I got Colorado and most of Michigan. So I should win. I should win eight. Yeah, and the prize is $8 on the top. On the very top is $8. The entry fee is $3. So hopefully I can win back what I lost. But I got other bets too. I got Kirk Cousins. I got Robinson, Henry, Osborne, Jefferson, Anderson, Gobert, and Madison. The second unit, I got Watson, Chubb, Herb, Cooper, People's Choice, Godwin, Ojoku, and McCaffrey. The third slot, I got Ryan Tannehill, Robinson, Pierce, Jefferson, Burks, Hopkins, Ganaway, Henry. I got Evie Washington for 14 because I know they're going to dominate that game. I got Jefferson again. I got the tight end from the Steelers, and I got Devontae Adams. And then last one I got is Hurts. I got pretty much all Eagles except for the tight end, but yeah, I got 5 matches scrolled up. I got 5. So everything is in the 250, 1,250, 250. This one is for 250. These are just the prizes, and this is $8. So I don't know if I'm gonna ace them all. I hope so. But anyways, man. Today's video is about Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I know a lot of people are gonna say, well, he didn't have this or he didn't have that, which I understand. And this is what I was talking about with Patrick Mahomes. Can Patrick Mahomes do less with more? You see how Daniel Jones had less talent and he was able to squeeze the Giants into the playoffs, right? You know that you're out your number one tight end. You had all off season, you had preseason, you had mini camp, you had training camp, you had OTAs, which it's obviously, not the same OTAs because it's kind of, less. They don't really practice a lot like they used to in the past. Like I don't want to hear no excuse. Hell, the Lions without their best running back because I believe it's Williams, Montgomery, and then Gibbs. So they were out their main running back. They had a few guys that were suspended or injured. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Y'all people make excuses for the most stupidest crap ever. Yeah, both teams played sluggish, but you know what? The KC running game. I mean, the KC defense couldn't stop Patrick Mahomes. I mean, couldn't stop the Lions. No. The KC running game wasn't effective. Passing game, it was a little bit effective. That's something that the Lions should work on, but you take the win any way you can. It was a very close game. Both teams went for it on fourth down occasionally. Both of them didn't succeed. Jared Goff didn't turn the ball over, but he got sacked a lot. He got sacked a few times. Patrick Mahomes rarely got sacked, but that one sack that he got pushed him back a little bit, and then after that, his receivers didn't help him at all. That one throw that he did make, that was a slant. The receiver wasn't looking. It bobbled up in the air, and Tip Drill, he caught it and ran it back for a touchdown. It was tied 14-14. And then Patrick Mahomes drove down the field, scored a touchdown, and it was like 20 to 14. And then that's when they were just going back and forth, punting, going 3 and out until the Lions got the ball back late with around like 3 minutes left, and then after that they just iced it and the game was over. But yeah, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Patrick Mahomes has to have everything perfect for him. Okay? If it wasn't the offensive line, it's a receiver core. If it wasn't the receiving core, it's the tight end. Like everything can't be perfect, But like I said, Daniel Jones did less with more. Now that he has more, you would expect him to obviously, continue his progress, right? Same thing with Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes has to have everything perfect, right, in order for him to win. Because he's not that quarterback to take a bunch of unknown. Like I never heard of Sky Moore before. Kadarius Toney, obviously, he was with the Giants. You would have thought that he would have been, his number one after what he did in the Super Bowl, which he didn't really do a whole lot except for that one return, for that one punt return that set him up for a touchdown. You would expect him to take that next leap. I think Kadarius Toney don't care about football. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if he retires from football and just focus on his rap career. Um, but yeah, and you had a tight end in Gray who did pretty good. The defense did pretty good at some juncture, but I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You know, I don't want to hear it. So let's look at the stats real quick because I'm not really a stat guy, but you know, it is what it is. Um, KC versus Lions. And you know what's weird? Everybody had KC winning this game. Everybody. They did a poll on it. They did a poll, and 91% out of no KC got 91%. Um, KC had 91%. The Lions had 27%. It's the same shit almost every year. I mean, I don't know how y'all people fall for this crap almost every year. You know, they had all the momentum. Oh, you know, such and such. You know, like they had all the momentum riding on them. They was at home. They had the crowds behind them. You know, so Detroit scored on the first possession, first quarter. Okay, they didn't score in the second quarter, and then they scored in the third and fourth. KC only kicked KC only kicked two field goals in the third and fourth quarter, and they scored 14 points in the second quarter. So 7 plus 7 plus 7 is 21. 14 plus 3 plus 3 is 20. So I don't want to hear it. I really don't. Yeah, and the Lions covered the spread too. So that game did go under. The under was 52.5, and the over. Oh no, the under was 52.5, and the over was 52.5. The point spread was +4, and the money line was +175. KC was a -220. 210, -4 points. Okay, they both punt 5 times. Okay, um, Detroit had 2 fumbles. Detroit had more penalties, 4 penalties for yards, 63 fumbles, 2 fumbles lost, 1 time of possession, 32.38 minutes. Okay, like I don't want to hear it. I'm trying to look for the stats, yo. Like this, I don't want to hear it. I mean, I hate when people make excuses, man. These are the same motherfuckers that make excuses in life. But one game is not going to define the whole season, you know. Um, you know. So let's see, team leaders. Okay, so Jared Goff threw for 200 right here. Let me throw it down a little bit. Jared Goff had 253 yards to Patrick Mahomes 226. Surprisingly, you know, Patrick Mahomes had to do it all: throw, run. You know, Patrick Mahomes rushed for 45 yards. Montgomery rushed for 74 yards. Reynolds had 80 yards receptions. Um, Scandaraz has had 58. Okay. All right. So Jared Goff completed 22 out of 35 attempts, 253 yards, one touchdown, no interceptions. Montgomery ran for 74 yards, one touchdown. Gibbs ran for 42 yards. His longest was 18 yards. Reynolds was the show, was the play of the show. Um, Reynolds had 7 targets, 4 receptions for 80 yards, no touchdowns. St. Brown had 6 receptions, 9 targets for 71 yards and a touchdown. Um, and the defense did pretty good. Um, Now Patrick Mahomes obviously had 2 touchdowns, 1 interceptions, 21 out of 39, 226 yards. The rushing game was non-existent. Patrick Mahomes led them rushing in 45 yards. Edwards-Helaire had 22 yards. Moore had 4 yards rushing. Tony had 1 negative yard. Um, yeah, I mean, the receiver. I mean, the only person who led them in receiving was Watson and Scouting right? I mean, the defense had 1 forced fumble. And yeah, everybody, and then obviously outside of the kicker, and you know, you would probably say the kicker was obviously, um, you know, the KC, you know, um, driving point or whatever. Um, but yeah, you know, it's just one game. You know, they'll learn from it, I guess. You know, hopefully, you know, because they don't play Sunday, so they play next Sunday. Um, but you know, it'll take, you know, Kelsey, Travis Kelsey should be at 100%. percent next weekend. Uh, with Jones' situation, he just wants a new contract. We all get that. We all knew he was going to hold out without a contract. Um, I think Barkley should have done the same thing, but it is what it is. Um, but yeah, I mean they'll learn from it. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say Kansas City Chiefs is gonna fall apart. Um, but one game doesn't define the whole season. I don't dictate what you do. I don't dictate what you do in week one moving forward. Now, if this is a continuous thing, then yeah, we have a problem. But if it's just that one night, everybody was just a little bit off. It happens. When you win the Super Bowl, everybody's on you. Everybody wants to play you at your best. Obviously, Casey wasn't fully 100%. I'm seeing like both teams dealt with injuries. It's not like the Lions came in the game with zero injuries. I'm pretty sure they had a few guys banged up. They had their star running back banged up out of Williams. So, you know, the Lions was just prepared. They was just prepared. They knew they was going to a hostile environment. And they punched Casey in the mouth. Um, so yeah, that's all I got. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other.